Hey folks, Mike Starner back again, and I'm with my good friend Micah. Hey, Micah, we met in Certified Loss Control Professional Program. It's a program that NRECA puts on to help develop safety professionals within their different co-ops,
Yes,
different statewide. So what is your experience with that program? I mean, so you've been involved with it probably more than myself because, you know, I knew it from the outside. I said, hey, that looks like a great way to get involved with the co-ops and meet people and interact a little bit. But you know, being from the cooperatives, you guys have probably been working with CLCP, even if you weren't directly involved, but you know people have been involved. What is the CLCP program about?
Well, first and foremost, thanks for letting me crash with you and be here with you. And it was so cool to meet you in class, first and foremost. And just a shout out, you just killed it in your session.
Oh, thanks,
so,
man.
Nice job, nice job. CLCP is something that, to your point, has almost always been around. And the people that kind of led me in my direction always talked about it. And it was just something, not that you did, but it was something you got to go do. If you step into this space, hey, you're going to get to go to CLCP. It's not a requirement, it's an opportunity. And so having that outlook for it has been amazing, and it has lived up to all the hype. Being a part of that group and the networking and the program sharing and the stuff you learn from those people, being able to walk into a room with strangers and instantly connect. That's the beautiful thing about that program.
You know, I get out and about and in the utility industry. That's really my job, is to advocate for the electrical construction industry. But the contractors can't do anything without sort of a relationship or interconnection with their utility customers, their hosts. And so it's a collaborative effort. And so, you know, one thing that I wanted to learn more about was, you know, how are the cooperatives approaching safety management? You know, is it consistent with what I'm seeing in other places of the industry? And what I think is really cool is that so the CLCP program is an accredited program. So it gives folks within the co-ops and external. So I have a chance to participate. There's other contractors that were in the room. And so we have a chance to participate. It's a 4-seminar program. It takes you, 2 years to get through probably?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you may have a gap in there, but I mean, talking about the content, I mean, these are week-long seminars, there's pre-work, there's capstone projects that you have to deliver. So just, I was impressed, but you know what I was the most impressed with, to your point, when you walk in the room, people you don't know, the cooperatives, you know, these folks wear many hats. You know, I come from a world where if I'm the safety manager, my only responsibility is safety, but you know, what are some of the other responsibilities that cooperative safety people have?
So the possibilities are endless. And to your point, that depends on scope, size, scale of the co-op. So I work for the statewide association at the Electric Co-ops of South Carolina, and I've been there 3 years and worked with all of our membership cooperatives in our state. And I see a range of things, from true dedicated individual safety professionals, and that is the scope of their world, that's their life. And then we have some that wear the staking hat. We have some that wear the contractor supervisor hat. We have some that wear the operations manager hat and the safety hat. And that can get a little tricky because you want to make sure that it still gets highlighted and doesn't lose its place. But you're right, it's across the board. And I never would have thought going into CLCP that we'd do our intros and there'd be this Mike Starner guy from the contractors. And I was like, well, okay, that's cool. We let him in. All right, let's go. And I'm glad we did.
My whole thing is, and people that watch my stuff, they know we're only going to do it if we do it together.
There you go.
You know, back in the day where everything was sort of isolated, you know, we used to term under the sole control of the utility too much. And, you know, the reality is any of the projects, any of the work that's being done is going to be a collective effort, from the utility that's hosting you to the contractors that's supporting, all the other kind of subcontractors that do specialty work, the regulators, supply chain, you know, transformers and switchgear, how hard are they to get? And so having relationships, understanding where the pain points are, and working together to solve those problems. And safety is a great place to do it, because safety people just love each other anyway.
That's right. That's right. I steal a phrase from our fearless leader at NRECA, Ken Mackin. He calls them safety dorks, and I've always been safety nerd, man. That's me. I'm not a dork. I'm a nerd. I'm in it for the long haul. And I love your point about the unity there. And that's the co-op spirit. When this thing started, it was because some people got together and said, I can't see, man. I can't see out at my house. It should be nice to see and do what they're doing in the city. And so you saw community built from the foundation of it. And it's a beautiful thing that we carry through the co-op principles that we're still doing today. We haven't lost that community. We're getting bigger. Our territories get huge. our footprint's getting large.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of infrastructure come. We're seeing a lot of demand on load, but we're not corporate. We're still co-op, and I love that.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool element there, right? I mean, so right from the beginning, you had to think collectively, how can we solve problems
Together.
And, the relationships that you establish. Look, no matter where you are, you're going to have folks that get it right and folks that can learn to do things a little differently. And when we come together and share our best practices or our experiences with things we've gotten wrong, and more importantly, things that we put in place that make things better.
Yeah.
Commitment to zero. The philosophy around. Look, that's our goal. There's a lot of work that has to take place to get us there, but just at least level setting, and that's our objective.
Yeah.
I think everybody can get behind that, and where we're shifting from a safety industry from less of a rule-based environment and looking more at risk and how humans interact with the systems that they're operating in, the organization's impact on that, and just again, it's looking at the composite versus that individual element of whatever it is that we're working on.
Sure, I think you hit it great in your presentation, and I had a chance to hear a great presentation in CLCP class that talked about the time frame of our industry and how, hey, there were no rules, and rules got us here. And then after that, a few decades, it was training. We need more training. And training got us here. And to your point of your one slide, we're plateaued. And a buzzword in the community now in our industry is culture. And I have a great coworker, Travis Renwick, at my statewide association who talks about culture versus climate.
Ah, yeah.
And he's really knocking that out of the park. And what's your climate like?
Right. It's a different
because
way.
It takes the right climate to grow certain things. And so that's Travis's whole new passion that he's built. And I think places like this help us get in the same room and focus our direction on this is where we've been, this is where we got to go, and we have to adapt to this next generation, or we're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, so folks, if you're wondering where we are and what we're up to, we're at the NRECA Safety Leadership Summit here in Arlington, Texas, and I had the opportunity to be able to speak to the group here. And there's been plenty of good presentations, great keynotes, great social activities where folks can come together. And so, if you have never been, I encourage you to come and check out. I mean, there's 1,000 attendees or something like that. So this is not small potatoes. This is serious stuff, and the folks at NRECA really get it right. So, Mike, I just want to say thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mike.
And we'll see you all next time.